Welcome back to another Land Development 101 video. In this video, we are going to be learning how to structure and make an offer on land to a seller. Now keep in mind, this video goes hand in hand with the previous video we just completed called Planning and Due Diligence. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do so. I'll leave a link below. Now, just as a quick recap of what we discussed in that last video, your land development due diligence and planning process consists of two stages: your feasibility analysis and your entitlement stage. And typically, when you finish your feasibility analysis is when you make an offer to the seller. But once again, keep in mind, this offer is your quick and dirty, back of the napkin or back of the envelope offer. Because again, what you're looking to do is just tie up the property. And then after you tie up the property is when you're going to really dive in deeper and try to get every cost estimate possible associated with this land. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and do an example. Now, let me preface this by saying that there may be a few differences in these steps that actually fluctuate and differentiate between state to state. However, I'm going to show you just a typical example here of how we've done it here in California. So the first step of this is finding the selling price of homes in the area that you want to build. Basically, you're finding comps. You're trying to find out how much your houses are going to be worth and how much you can sell it for when it's all said and done. And once you have that, then you want to find your finished lot value. And what that means is how much is the lot worth without any home, any construction on top of it. It's just the finished lot, how much that's worth. And to find that, you multiply the selling price you found in step one with a percentage. And what the percentage is, it's what the current market is currently bearing. Could be 40%, could be 50%, sometimes it could be even 60%. But it's basically what the current market is bearing, and it's allowing builders, developers to get in, purchase a lot, build a home, make a profit, and sell it. There's a percentage that comes from that, and you can find that from, I don't know, your realtor or your land broker or whoever, but you'll find out what that current standard is. Now, keep in mind, it fluctuates, just like I mentioned, again, depending on what the market is currently bearing. So again, sometimes it could be 50%, sometimes it could be 45% of what the selling prices are. In our example, we're going to use 40%, which is kind of where we're at today. And as I mentioned, you're going to see some things in this example that may be different from state to state. For instance, the finished lot value is a California thing. Other states may analyze property as a lot standard or even a front footage. So just keep that in mind. Okay, in your third step, you're going to subtract your soft costs and fees. And so that's everything associated with permits and applications and whatnot. Now, your fourth step is subtracting the actual land development cost, or also known as hard costs. So 3 is your soft cost, 4 is your hard cost, and you're going to subtract that from number 2. Okay, so let's do a real example with actual numbers. Let's say the selling price of homes in the area you want to build is about $450,000 each. Number 2, we multiply that number by 40% for raw land, and again, let's just say that's what the current market is bearing, and we get $180,000. That's your finished lot value, $180,000. But again, that's not it. Number 3, we estimate, let's say, $60,000 per lot for soft costs and fees. And then number 4, your hard costs, let's say we estimate $75,000. So we do the math, and we're looking at a purchase price of $45,000 per lot. Now, keep in mind, like I said previously, a lot of your costs and your estimates are most likely just going to be based upon assumptions or historical data, because like I said, you don't want to spin your wheels ahead of time and spend too much time where someone else ties this property up before you do and you lose out on the deal. You'll have time to really go back and dive in and really dissect how much everything is going to be, including your hard cost. So you want to hopefully at least get within the same ballpark as the seller's offer, so you increase your likelihood and your chances of actually coming to a deal. And one last thing, do not forget to take that number and multiply it by the total number of lots. Because again, that number that we analyzed is $45,000 per lot. So if it's going to be 10 lots, then do 45,000 times 10. That's your number, and so on. So that's our short video on how to come up with a quick and dirty back of the napkin offer for the seller on some land. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below or feel free to reach out.